So I'm Marjani again, co-director of the Alkebulan Cultural Center.
I'm Everett Assis, co-director of the Alkebulan Cultural Arts Center.
And we are at the end of a 2.5-day training with the People's Institute for Survival and Beyond, an Undoing Racism training that was co-organized by a collective of artists and organizers and institutions that create the Undoing Racism LA Collective. And the PSAB Undoing Racism workshop invites artists and organizers and institutions from all over Los Angeles County to engage in a conversation and a lecture and a workshop around both the history of race as a construct, the very entry of our country, and how it is impacting our organizing practices and the way that our institutions get closer to fulfilling their missions.
And the reason for this is because when doing work in the community, race is always an issue for everything. Systemic oppression has been around for hundreds of years, and it will continue to be around until we actively do something to break it down, basically. The reason, to me, the importance of PSAP is to give our organizers a lens into critical race theory, understanding the communities they're moving inside of, how to move inside those communities, how to enter, exit, and build inside those communities, and come outside of their own lens a little bit. You know, a lot of times we think we know what a community needs, but we don't know how to actively engage with the community to determine what the community needs. And that's where PSAP training comes in. I have been involved with PSAP for a number of years. Marjani's been involved for about, I guess, over 10 now, maybe?
Almost 10.
Yes, and the work is important. It's highly important to anyone doing any type of work. I think everyone, every community, every school, every organization should be a part of this training.
Yeah. We decided to award that scholarship to James Farr.
I gotta jump in first, wait.
Okay.
Because I got to the story.
Okay.
So, we were at a board meeting, and there's a lot of work that's done in this community. Inside of Alkebulan, it's heavily female-based. There's a lot of women in here that are playing a big role in the movement and the growth of Alkebulan. So we had a list of names that came down, and there was a lot of women on the list. And I was like, wait a minute. There's a lot of brothers in this community that's doing some positive work, and we really need to make sure we don't lose sight and lose focus on our brothers in the community. And with that, there was one name that jumped to the top of the list, and that was
James Farr. Yeah, we like to be really clear about what we mean by focusing on the brothers in our community. We understand that we are at a time where we are looking at gender equity. We understand the intersectionality of looking at feminism, but we also understand the deep assault on our communities and the attempt to really divide us. And so we are really looking at how the Black men in our community can meet us, particularly as Black women, to grow. And we don't say Black to divide us, but really to look at what are the specific needs of this community and how can that make us better participants of our city. And so this is a multicultural, multifaceted conversation about equity, about humanizing our practices, and about growth. Okay, so James, could you talk to us a little bit about your experience in this 2.5-day workshop and how you imagine it informing your work as an organizer?
Sure. First of all, thank you and your husband and the staff at Alkebulan for seeing me in the space. And instead of having criticism or harsh words, you said, "Let me help you. Let me offer you this so that you can learn and bring it into your work." So for that, I am truly grateful. I had not a clue what to expect over the last 2.5 days. I came in with the intention of listening, and with an intention of listening to understand, to show up in a way that I could receive the information, and it has really shaped and given me some context of where I fall in, if ecosystem is the right kind of sense, and how things may be perceived, but really I have clarity on what my role is, and then how those in the system support that. It's complicated what we learned today. It can't be explained in 2 minutes at all, 2-3 minutes. it's a lot of processing, but also found a lot of healing in it as well.
Thank you. I think my second thought is, you know, as we are looking at the revival and the restoring of the Alkebulan Cultural Center as an effective organization in this community and beyond, really wanting to learn more about how you can see your work both impacting communities, this one and those beyond, and inside of the village here at Alkebulan Cultural Center.
Yeah, which is like you mentioned earlier, this center was kind of absent. In one sense, it was present, but it was absent. And I can honestly say I've been in here more times in the last 3 months than I have in the last 15 years.
Wow.
And so this is a new start. This is a transformation. This is something with all the programming that you guys are providing here, the resources you're providing here, the information. This is what I yearn to see happen here, that we have a place to call our own. I feel like I'm at home. We support your work. We pay to support your work, and I think that's important that people know. We have to support financially organizations and individuals in the arts and opening up spaces, because it just ain't free. But thank you.
And I just want to say for everyone that, James, your work it speaks for itself. That making sure that you had a scholarship and an ability to attend this 2.5-day workshop is because of what it is that we've already learned from you. So we're learning together. And in no way was like, oh, let us help you. It was like, can we help each other? Because we believe that your work already has an impact. You're a bright light in this community, and there are many bright lights who the Alkebulan Cultural Center wants to engage with. So we're really thankful that you said yes, that you have the time. Let's do some more.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ashe.
So there's a lot more to come, but ultimately we are looking at how to humanize our work and how we can all be better from understanding the construct of race and its impact. So we're really proud to have done this. We look forward to the next one, and thank you for staying tuned.